Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Like the past video I did where I ranked Bob Dylan's albums, I'm doing the same thing where I'm ranking my 10 favorite Frank Zappa albums. The reason I'm only picking 10 is because Zappa has over 100 albums total. I think they had something around 60 some studio albums, split between Frank Zappa solo, the Mothers I've mentioned, all that. He has a lot of live albums, which consist of all new material, which could kind of be considered a studio record in a way because it is a live album of all these new tracks. So I basically just picked 10, my 10 favorite Frank Zappa albums, and I'm just ranking them from, from down to 10 to 1. Now, Frank Zappa's got a lot of stuff. I mean, it's hard to categorize him. Avant-garde, I feel like, is the best way to describe it. He touched on hard rock. He touched on psychedelia, doo-wop, classical, jazz. He's definitely got the jazz fusion. He's proggy at times. But I feel like Zappa was just a musical genius in itself. And there's no really one way to describe his music. I guess you could just put it in the huge title of just rock, which includes so many things. But then again, he was conducting orchestras. He was playing jazz. He was a genius on the guitar, and he was funny too. He had a lot of comedy in his lyrics, and he didn't take himself so seriously, even though his music was, far beyond what anyone at the time, could create. The guy was just a genius. All right, so I'm going to start at number 10 for me. And number 10 for me is Weasels Ripped My Flesh. I feel like this album doesn't get a lot of love. The artwork isn't the best, but for some reason I always liked it. And this is credited as the Mothers of Invention. He kind of continued on what he was doing with the music from Burnt Weenie Sandwich and then in the Chunka's Revenge, which would come after this. But this is my favorite. I feel like there's really good guitar work on here. Did You Get Any Audio? Just kind of a weird track, which a lot of these albums, almost all of them have something weird on there. Directly From My Heart to You kind of has that doo-wop-y influence sound to it. Toads of the Short Forest. He would use that line later in Camarillo Brillo. My Guitar Wants to Kill Your Mama. Probably the best well-known track off this album, and one of my favorites. Just amazing. So this is number 10 for me. Weasels Ripped My Flesh. Coming at number 9, Chic Your Booty. There's some of the comedy coming in there. Chic Your Booty, kind of hitting that shake your booty. And the most well-known song off this is Dancing Fool. I don't know, I feel like maybe this, nowadays, someone would consider this a little controversial, the way he's dressed. But at the time, this was released in 1979. It was just, I don't know, Zappa's just all over the place, and he's got a lot of lead vocals on here as opposed to a lot of his other albums, which have a lot of, guest vocalists and other guys from his band playing. But yeah, Chic Your Booty is a really good album. Released as a double LP originally, and I just feel like that's another iconic cover from Zappa. I always remember seeing this cover before I even knew who Zappa was, but I was introduced to Zappa very young. But I'll get into that later. Next up for me, number 8, Zoo to Lures. I think it's great. Wound Up Work at a Gas Station is a cool song. Black Napkins, The Torture Never Stops. I mean, the guitar work on there is just amazing. Zappa's kind of a smaller band right here, not using as much orchestration. You don't hear the signature xylophone, which featured a lot of his records, and I don't hear a lot of the brass instruments and woodwind instruments like that. Title track is Zoo to Lures, another great guitar work. But yeah, I mean, just this album alone for Black Napkins and The Torture Never Stops is just amazing. And of course, Disco Boy, another great track, which is hilarious at times. Number 7, One Size Fits All. Inca Roads, love that vocal. Pajama People, great track off of here. And San Bernardino is a real hard rocker on this. Now, I remember seeing this album along with another album that I'll get into later at my grandparents' house. and they belonged to my uncle on vinyl. And I didn't know who Frank Zappa was. Obviously, Frank Zappa never really got any radio play whatsoever. Kind of just a cult artist in a way, but a huge cult artist because he's one of the biggest selling artists of all time and just one of the biggest influencers of all time. But I kind of was like, kind of weird cover art, and I put it on, and the guitar work just blew me away. So yeah, this is one of my first introductions to Frank Zappa. One size fits all. Coming in at number 6. Yeah. Go through this pretty quick. Freak Out, debut album from Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. This was released as a double LP, which is kind of gutsy back at the time when this was released in 1966. Mainly because this band was very, very unknown, and to come out with a double album and still sell it and, become so influential and so iconic, it's kind of weird. I think the artwork is great. I love it. Definitely for the time, 66. Kind of ahead of the times because the really, really psychedelic stuff would really get popular in 67. This is just one of them CDs that you put on and you just play from start to finish, and you hear some of the stuff where he's making fun of the flower children of the day, as we should say. But Zappa was very straight edge. He never did any drugs, didn't drink. He was a big smoker, though, cigarettes. So stuff like Help, I'm a Rock. I feel like it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek answer to Simon & Garfunkel's I'm a Rock song. Go Cry on Somebody Else's Shoulders. It's got that cool doo-woppy influence to it. Hungry Freaks Daddy, which opened it, is great. I Ain't Got No Heart. Who Are the Brain Police? Just weird, cool stuff on here. Wowie Zowie. Probably my favorite track off of this. You Didn't Have to Try to Call Me. That is another doo-woppy 50s influence song there. Trouble Every Day is a little more serious kind of protest song for the times. So yeah, that's Zappa's debut album. That's number 5 for me. I'm sorry, number 6 for me. Number 5, Apostrophe. Another iconic cover. Widely known as one of Zappa's most famous albums. One of his best albums. I happen to like 4 more out of this. Comes in with the kind of the medley with Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, Nanook Rubs It, In the St. Alphonsus Pancake Breakfast, Father Oblivion, Cosmic Debris. Such a cool track off of here. And again, this is just like some of Zappa's best guitar work. Especially on the title track with the instrumental title track, Apostrophe. Uncle Remus is a great song. Clocking in under 3 minutes, and it ends with another great guitar track, Stinkfoot. Alright, now we're coming to top 4. Kind of hard to rank this at 4 for me, only because this is the first Zappa album I heard, along with One Size Fits All. This was the other record I saw, and I was like, who is this guy? Joe's Garage. At the time, I didn't know who he was. I was like, cover looks kind of stupid. But I had Joe's Garage Part 1, and this is the remastered CD version, which actually features all 3 acts. But yeah, Act 1 is what I really got into. And Act 1 and in Act 2 is included on the first disc here. So you can see it's a 2-disc set. And Act 1 is more like I don't want to say more commercial songs, because he never was commercial. But kind of more poppy rocker songs, as opposed to Act 2 and 3, which were more almost like a rock opera, but longer instrumentals and, a lot more playing, a lot more jammy. But yeah, I just love this. The Catholic Girls, Crew Slut, Why Does It Hurt When I Pee is a great track, and it's hilarious at the same time. The lyrics, I mean, my balls feel like a pair of maracas. It's hilarious, but it's such a good song. I love it. The title track, Joe's Garage, amazing. So I always tell people if they want to get into Zappa, start with this album, Joe's Garage, Act 1. All right, now we're down to the top 3. Number 3 for me, We're Only In It For The Money, The Mothers of Invention. This is actually their 4th release. Again, it's got the typical kind of 60s psychedelic vibe on here. A lot of avant-garde talking and weird stuff on here, like Telephone Conversation, Harry, You're a Beast. What's the Ugliest Part of Your Body features that doo-wop-y sound, and one of my favorite Zappa songs. Absolutely Free, cool track off of here. Obviously, it wasn't featured off his sophomore album, which is called Absolutely Free. Hot Poop, another one of those weird avant-garde things. Let's Make the Wood Turn Black, The Idiot Bastard Son, Take Your Clothes Off When You Dance. What's the Ugliest Part of Your Body actually has a reprise on here. And yeah, it's just really cool. Now, there was like the original cover, I believe, in the United States here. I'm going to show you. Was this here? Jimmy Carl Black, the Indian group. And the back cover, you know, features Zappa there. This is phase 1 of Lumpy Gravy. But the remastered version has a kind of play there off Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Now, I don't know the whole story behind this. I don't know if this was the original intended cover or if there were 2 covers released and maybe they put this inside the gatefold due to, you know, being kind of a ripoff of the Beatles, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, this is another great album from Zappa and one of my favorites. All right, number 2 for me. Oh, I just love this cover art. Hot Rats. Zappa's first solo record, even though he did Lumpy Gravy, this is more of songs where Lumpy Gravy is a lot of avant-garde, kind of weird, you know, psychedelic talking and things like this. This features my all-time favorite instrumental, Peaches and Regalia. Features Captain Beefheart on the second track, Willie the Pimp, total jam out with guitar, and this was released in '69, and it's definitely ahead of its time, the guitar work on this album. Son of Mr. Green Jeans, Little Umbrellas, the Gumbo Variations, and It Must Be a Camel. But yeah, I just love this record. I always loved the artwork. It's psychedelic, but it's like creepy at the same time. And like I said, my favorite instrumental. And I love this remastered version with the white and pink contrast and colors. So yeah, if you had ever heard Peaches and Regalia, which if you're watching this video, probably already know it because you know Zappa. Why else would you watch this video? Peaches and Regalia. Great track. I love it. And then just listen to Willie the Pimp. Captain Beefheart's vocals are for everyone. He wasn't much of a singer, but he's got a great cult following. So get past the lyrics if you want to, the singing, and hear the friggin' great solo guitar work from Frank Zappa. All right, coming in at number 1 for me, Overnight Sensation. Now, this wasn't always number 1. I would always put either Hot Rats or Joe's Garage Act 1 at number 1, but this, I feel like, is his most commercial album. This is the most listenable album. Just 7 tracks. This was released in 1973. And you just put the album on from start to finish, and it doesn't get boring. It's like I said, it's very commercial, although he still didn't have any hits. This is actually the 17th release by Frank Zappa within like 7 years, which is crazy. Camarillo Brillo, great opener. I'm the Slime, Dirty Love, cool song. 50-50, Zombie Wolf, Dynamo Home, and Montana, which is another very well-known Frank Zappa song. Great guitar playing again on this, and this is one of the first records where Zappa really took over with the vocals. I believe he sings on basically, if I can remember, every song except for 50-50. Doing lead vocals on it, but I know he does background vocals on 50-50. Could be wrong, but correct me in the comments. So yeah, number 1 for me, Overnight Sensation. And again, Zappa has so many records that this would, if I don't own them all, but if I did, this would be probably a 2-hour video just to go through every single one of his albums, including studio albums, live albums, compilations, box sets, things like that. So I'm gonna go over it real quick again. Number 10. Again, this is just my opinion. This is my 10 favorite Zappa albums, and the way I would rank them. Doesn't mean I'm right, doesn't mean I'm wrong. I'm sure a lot of people disagree with me. There may be some people that agree. Number 10, Weasels Rip My Flesh. Number 9, Chic Your Booty. Number 8, Zoot Allures. Number 7, Overnight Sensation. Number 6, Freak Out. Number 5, Apostrophe. Number 4, Joe Zacks, 1, 2, and 3. Number 3, We're Only In It For The Money. Number 2, Hot Rats. And number 1, Overnight Sensation. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. I'm trying to make these videos a little more frequently. If you like what you see, please subscribe. I want to put a lot more videos out. I got more coming. I want to do Judas Priest ranking the albums. I want to do Iron Maiden ranking the albums. I did a video showing my Beatles albums, but I never ranked them, so I may be doing that. Same thing with Aerosmith. I did a video showing the albums, but not ranking them. But yeah, but now since I'm digging into the artists where there's just so many studio albums, I'm selecting 10 of them, and that's what I'll doing. Neil Young is in the works for that also. But again, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, you can check my Instagram, Gary at Gary Elysium, sorry. I show a lot of my collection on there, but you know, just subscribe. I got a lot of stuff coming, and I'd like to see your top 10 albums in the comments. And yeah, I have a lot of honorable mentions also, like Waka Jawaka, The Grand Wazoo, Chunga's Revenge, Tinseltown Rebellion. But yeah, that's just my 10. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, good night, whatever time it is. Bye.